Hey guys, and welcome back. And welcome to part 2 of the 6 video project I'm working on, where I take cars from past GT games and rate them on a scale of how likely they are to come back. Today, we're gonna be talking about cars from Gran Turismo 2. But let's just get one thing clear. I am not including any cars from the A-Spec mod, because GT2 A-Spec isn't being taken into consideration. And if you're wondering why I'm not including stuff like the CRX Del Sol, that's because this video is dedicated to only newcomers from GT2. And so, with that clarified, let's get into the list. Starting off with the 145 Cloverleaf. And let's be honest, the odds of this car coming back are low but not zero. And I guess the same can be said about the 155 road car. It might be a road version that we don't have yet, but I highly doubt it's coming back. But the same definitely cannot be said about the 156, given it did come back to future games since. And that fact alone kinda increases the chances of it coming back. And same can be said for the 166, although it is more of an oddball between the two. Even though the OG V8 Vantage appears on my leaked list, it doesn't have much else confirmation going for it. While the Audi S4, I wouldn't say it's the most likely thing, but also not the least likely. The fact that the 3.2-liter variant of the TT already came back drastically decreases the chances of this one. Being honest here, the 30th anniversary Camaro coming back would be a miracle. Meanwhile, this definitely has a higher chance than the 30th anniversary Camaro, but I can't help but think that fans would consider it a duplicate to the 1969 one. And if we're being realistic here, no matter how exclusive the Xantia might be, it doesn't really have much of a chance of coming back. And sadly, the same can be said for the Midget 2. It doesn't matter how iconic it is, I just don't see it arriving anytime soon. And same can be said for the other 2 Daihatsus on the list, given we did not get a single one since the GT Sport days. This definitely has to be one of the least likely cars on the list. And like I said, we're talking about possibilities here, not miracles. And even though there is a possibility of them bringing back this over the year 2000 model of the car, it doesn't really help its case that the year 2000 model itself doesn't have much confirmation either. Even though bringing back the Cinquecento would be funny, I unfortunately do not see it happening. And both it and the Seicento share the same problem. If they brought them back now, Polyphony would get a ton of backlash. We already have the road-going Escort in the game, which is why I don't think we'll be getting the rally car one anytime soon. Now, this one definitely couldn't be considered as a duplicate, given we do not have a single Ford Focus from that time period. Even though this isn't very likely due to being a classic race car, its odds of coming back are still more likely than the freaking Ford GT90. Speaking of which, that's another car which I guarantee you is never coming back in any future Gran Turismo. The reason why I don't think the Honda Life T is that likely is because it's being overshadowed by another car from a future game. Given how rare Honda logos are nowadays, I highly doubt it's ever coming back to the series. And even though the Z-Turbo is also very rare, I don't think it's as rare as the Honda logo. And that fact alone prevents it from being an F tier in terms of likeliness. As for this thing, instant F tier. There ain't no way we are ever gonna see the XJR15 return. While the XKR Coupe may be unlikely, but at least its odds of returning are not non-existent. Lexus hasn't really gotten anything besides the LFA in terms of returning cars, which is why the odds of this car coming back are not high. And because this car is a literal copy-paste of the Altezza. If you're wondering if I think this is likely or not, I'll just say it again. We're talking about possibilities here, not miracles. Meanwhile, the 1996 Elise has to be one of, if not the most likely car on this list. But that doesn't instantly mean it's guaranteed to come back. And if it did already come back, then adding the Elise Sport 190 as well would be redundant. And same can be said about the Esprit Sport 350, which is being overshadowed by the regular Esprit, which is already a premium in GT5 and 6. Behold, the least likely Lotus from GT2 to come back. Even though the Mazda Demio has been there since the very beginning, best case scenario is gonna appear as a day 1 car in Gran Turismo 8, but no guarantee of course. Being honest here, this, in terms of likeliness, is on par with the 96 Elise. As for the Mercedes A-Class, yeah, let's be honest, even though it was brought back in GT4 all the way till GT6, it is definitely not on par with the SLK 230 compressor. The newer Mercury Cougar, at this point, is pretty much just a burning memory. And same can be said for the old Cougar, although it's not as much of a burning memory considering it was brought back in future games. Mine's is not coming back, and even if it is, this isn't the car that they're gonna bring back for it. It is not likely because according to the wiki, it was replaced by the 1965 variant. Best case scenario, this is gonna appear as a day 1 car in Gran Turismo 8. And same can be said about the regular Evo 6, which I'm surprised it hasn't come back yet. But a car I'm not surprised hasn't come back yet is the Mitsubishi Legnum. I mean, wagons haven't been getting much attention in GT7, so this not coming back is pretty understandable. Now, I actually see a possibility of them bringing back this one over the 1989 from GT4 through 6. This one has like no confirmation. Either way, it is still the most likely Mitsubishi Mirage to come back, but honestly, that doesn't say much. There is definitely a possibility of this being the next Nismo to come back, but for now, we can only hope. Funny cars have always had a low chance of coming back in general, and this pretty much falls into the exact same category. Another possibility to bring back a version of a car from GT2. But even then, the chances of it coming back are not very high. And given they already did it for the Nismo 400R and the Impreza rally car, what makes you think they won't do it for the R390 GT1? But that doesn't really confirm anything about it actually happening. And its road version is definitely not coming back. I just don't see it happening, like, ever. As for the other 1998 versions, being honest, their chances of coming back are low, but not zero. And same can be said for the R30 Skyline. It might be a possibility, but I also don't think it's a priority at the moment. Meanwhile, the Nissan Stagea also isn't very likely, as it shares the exact same problem as the Legacy Touring Wagon and the Legnum. It's Opel, what can I say? And despite appearing in every single game after till GT6, its chances are not very high either way. And the same can be said for the Tigra, especially considering the fact that Polyphony did not get back their Opel license yet. Now, unlike the other rally cars, I could actually see this being the very next one that they add. Or not, but honestly, it could really go either way. As for the road version, I unfortunately do not see it coming back till long after the rally car comes back, as people would probably consider it a very useless addition. And if the 206 isn't likely, I bet your ass the 406 is not likely either. Potential to bring a car from GT2 alert. But yeah, even though I already used that excuse for many of the cars on the list, I don't actually think they're gonna bring back this one over the CUDA 6-pack or the AAR CUDA 6-barrel. And I'm sorry to the classic muscle car fans, but I don't see this coming back unless a miracle happens. Now, some people theorized that they might actually bring back the Espasa F1 in GT7, but for now the evidence doesn't support that claim. It is in the data mines, however, given that we already got the RGT from 2016 in 1.49, I highly doubt we'll be getting this in GT7's life cycle. And the same can be said about the CTR too. The Shelby GT500 might actually be a great addition, however, in terms of likeliness, it doesn't have much of that. Am I the only one who thinks that the version from GT2 is more likely than the version from GT4 through 6? If you don't mind me, I'm just gonna quickly go through the Imprezas so I don't bore you to death. Not likely, not likely, might be likely, not likely, most likely, and the least likely. You know, out of the 6 Subaru Imprezas that are shown. And out of all the Subaru legacies that appeared in Gran Turismo, I'd say the B4 RSK has the biggest legacy of them all, therefore it's most likely to come back. Hey look, it's the car with a name that sounds like an obscure indie rapper. But in all seriousness, even though this thing has a chance of coming back over the 1958, I wouldn't really say it's the most likely thing to happen. Now this might actually be the next most likely key car to come back after we get the Autozam AZ1. What can I really say for this one? It's not likely. And Volt's confirmation for it is not enough to change my mind. What I said about the Alto Works unfortunately can't be said for the wagon, however. It's just not as iconic as the Alto in the key car territory. Tommy Kyra actually coming back in GT7 might be one of the biggest miracles we could ever ask for. And I'm not saying that as a compliment. It means that it's one of the least likely. What can I say? The Altezza isn't the least likely thing, but it's definitely more likely than the IS200. We could really go for some more Celicas in GT7. However, I'm not sure if Polyphony thinks the same thing. Which is why I don't think either of these two are arriving. Well, maybe in GT8's life cycle, but definitely not in GT7's. Both the Corolla rally cars are on the low tier in terms of likeliness. But whether we get the 1997 first or the 1998 first, it could really go either way. I mean, we already have the AE86 variant, so why not have the BZR variant as well? Not only that, but they are actually distinct enough from each other. Unfortunately, I can't help but think it's on the low tier of likeliness. Meanwhile, the MRS unfortunately kinda falls into the exact same category as many JDMs of that time. And even though the original supercharged MR2 was the one we had from the beginning, I can't help but think the regular OG MR2 is more likely. What I said about the Levin BZR. Even though the Vitz Yaris was an okay car in the games that it appeared in, I unfortunately do not see it coming back due to it already running its course in the series. And also because it would get a ton of backlash if it was brought back. Now I know I'm supposed to make like some big speech on why Polyphony should bring this car back, but why bother if the car is just as unlikely as the Griffith? Now I know Marcel's gonna get hurt by me saying this, but the TVR Speed 12 is never coming back. And if Opel didn't come back yet, I can guarantee you that Vauxhall isn't coming back either. Another thing I can confirm is both the Vectors being F tiers in terms of likeliness. And so are the 3 Venturis that appeared in the game. And overall, that is the list. A great selection of 99 GT2 newcomers which haven't returned to GT7 yet. Or Gran Turismo 8 for that matter. Anyways, if you agree or disagree with the points I made in the video, let me know in the comments section. And now I'm gonna go work on the next video in the project. But until then, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.